Mary Bryant Shrader, I'm such a big fan of hers. This is a really big treat for us. She's a viral sensation on YouTube where she shares what she calls traditional cooking for the modern pioneer. She's finally in the studio with us. She's got a new book out all about stocking your pantry for success, and she's here to tell us more about it. Mary, good morning.
Rosie, thank you so much for having me.
Why don't you tell us, if you would, a little bit about Mary's Nest and your specialization in preparing, storing, eating whole foods, the whole food diet?
Well, I started Mary's Nest on YouTube to teach people how to make traditional foods. And when I say traditional foods, what I mean are like roasting meat on the bone, like a whole roasted chicken, making bone broth, culturing our own dairy, making fermented foods, making sourdough bread, real foods, real traditional foods. And why do we want to do this? It's because these are the foods that nourish us the best, that our digestive system recognizes, and we can absorb the nutrients. The bone broth is exceptionally helpful to us because it nourishes our digestive system, in essence, moisturizing it like we would put moisturizers on our skin. And it allows our body to absorb all the nutrients from the foods we're eating and improve our gut health. And we hear from scientists all the time, better gut health, better health overall.
I mean, they call it SAD, the
standard American diet.
So anything we can do to combat that. You've got some really helpful tips along the way, because you've kind of come to people and said, I understand that you want to get away from the processed foods, but a lot of us have lost, even in just one generation or two, some of these really traditional methods of getting the most nutrients out of our foods.
Yes, that's very true. My mother taught me how to make all of these foods, and she lived to be almost 100. I'm almost 70, and I really credit my good health to the fact that my mother taught me how to cook like this and eat like this. And I wanted to preserve this. I did this in my first book, the Modern Pioneer Cookbook, where I took people on the journey of how to make all the foods I just mentioned before. And then in the second book, now we're focused just on the pantry and how to have our pantries really well stocked so that we're not running out to fast food, so that we're not dashing,
Door
dashing, yeah. I was trying to think of that, Uber Eats, all these different things, which are fine, when someone's busy. But for the most part, you want to have foods on hand that you made homemade. And when I say pantry, as I explain in the Modern Pioneer Pantry, it's a broader concept than just a little closet.
Oh, it's emergency foods.
Yes.
It's so if you get sick and you think, oh, I can't make anything, you've got something on hand.
Yes, and you have your working pantry where you have your dry goods. You stock your fridge with your homemade ferments and your condiments and your pickles and so on and so forth. You've got your freezer where I show you how to make frozen foods that don't taste frozen.
That's good.
When you go to prepare them. And then you have your extended pantry, what you were talking about, where you have your emergency backup food, bad weather, what we went through in 2020, illness, job loss. There's so many reasons why you want to have a backup of food to restock your working pantry, so you always have those dried goods that you can make a meal from.
And you got to the point where it's a full year, right?
Yes.
That you can make it no problems.
Yes.
That's a fully built out pantry. I'm going to become a disciple. I am going to read these books backwards and forwards. I'm going to learn. I asked you if you would bring a little something to show us from your new book today, and you brought me something that would be great for Thanksgiving charcuterie boards or something like that.
Yes. This is great for holiday time because you can find today cauliflower, of course, white cauliflower. You can find the yellow cauliflower, the purple cauliflower, the green cauliflower. But what we're going to do is make a pink cauliflower.
Wow,
and
lovely.
it's sort of pinkish, kind of reddish. So it looks great at a Thanksgiving charcuterie platter or Christmas time, whatever the case may be. But what's so great about this? This is a ferment, and people get a little nervous when you say, oh, fermentation. This is very easy to make, and it's very rich in good bacteria, the probiotics. Stop buying all those probiotics. Just make your own fermented food.
From the grocery store.
Just make some fermented food, and it's going to nourish your gut. It's funny, I always like to kind of say digestive system, but you always hear people say a healthy gut. But this is going to nourish your gut, but it's also going to help you digest those heavy meals that are served at holiday time.
That are coming down the
and
pike.
A lot of times people will have some sort of pickled vegetable. Those are like a giardiniera with the cauliflower and the carrots and the baby onions. That's very popular, but that's just pickled. It doesn't bring the same benefits as fermentation. So all you need for this is a head of cauliflower that you've just cut up into little florets. And then here, I've just got some white pearled onions. Now, I will give you a tip. These were fresh and I peeled them. It's a little bit of a work.
A tear or two?
Yeah, if you want to use, a lot of times these are sold frozen. That will work too.
Okay.
And all you do is just take this and fill your jar. That's it. And I'll do as neatly as possible.
I'm going to try and help you if I can. Teamwork makes the dream work, y'all.
It does. And then all we could do from this point is add some salt. And you want to just use like a sea salt or a pickling and canning salt. And the reason for that is salt, table salt, has anti-caking agents. That's what keeps it from not clumping.
Yeah.
And the only problem is those anti-caking agents interfere with the fermentation process.
Gotcha.
So we want to be as successful as possible with ferments. So all I've got here is some sea salt.
Okay.
And no anti-caking agents. As I said, if you don't have access to sea salt, you can use pickling and canning salt. That's often sold at grocery stores. And for a jar this size, this is a half a gallon, we're going to need about a tablespoon and a half of the salt. But don't get too wrapped up in it. It's
you make it sound very easy.
It's not an exact science. Our ancestors did this and they weren't worried so much.
Right. They didn't have the tablespoon measure.
They weren't layering. They were kind of playing it by ear. But about a tablespoon and a half works well. Now this is the secret ingredient. This is beet juice. You can find this at any grocery store. And this is what's going to make this turn pink.
Lovely.
And it's also going to add a nice little bit of sweetness that the beet juice brings to the table.
So once we pour this in,
and then,
wow, it is blood red going in.
But now we're going to get this big bottle of water. And I should have uncapped that beforehand.
No, don't worry. I need a little bicep workout. And while
then
I'm
we're going to
doing
go
that,
ahead and pour that right in.
And do I fill it all the way to the top?
Yeah, about to here.
Okay.
About to close to the neck of the jar.
And once we get it to the neck of the jar, I just want to make sure that we cover everything that we can in the time.
Perfect. Then we're just going to take this jar to kind of keep everything submerged under the brine.
That's clever.
And you don't need any fancy fermentation equipment. A little jar, whatever you've got on hand, you're going to and then you're just going to sit this on your counter for 7 days. It's going to start bubbling, periodically release some of that gas. And then after 7 days, give it a taste. I think you're going to like it. Pop it in your fridge, and it's ready for your holiday charcuterie board.
How easy is that? That's amazing. Okay, just before we let you go, you have 2 upcoming appearances that we want to make sure we mention. The first is that there's a new Barnes & Noble at South Park Meadows, and you're going to be there.
Yes, I'll be there tonight from 5 to 7 doing a book signing of the Modern Pioneer Pantry.
Lovely. And then Texas Book Festival, you're a featured author.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be on a panel where we're going to be talking about stocking the pantry and how to eat nutritiously for good health.
I love it. Mary, we're going to have you back. So nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Learned so much from this woman. I tell you what, order your copy of the Modern Pioneer Pantry right now at marysnest.com.